It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and you're just in time for your Friday Tech Roundup with our expert, Tinus Jansen van Rensburg, who's here to take a look at some of the most interesting stories from the world of science this last week or so. Tinus, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
This is very interesting, the direction technology is going forward. I mean, starting off with researchers at Birmingham University coming up with what they call a smart knee implant.
Yes.
What exactly is that?
Right, so as you can imagine, as healthcare has advanced, people are getting older and older, and that leads inevitably to more and more people having knee problems as we get to an older age. The American Health Society says that by 2030, they'll have to replace about 3.5 million pairs of knees every year. So that's a big number. And what the researchers have come up with is a way to make these implants last. Because essentially what they found is that as people get older, they have a knee implant. A couple of years later, they have to replace them. Okay. So this is what they're trying to get around. And how this knee implant works is essentially it works off of your kinetic energy.
Okay.
So it's a smart implant that once it's in, it can connect to a smartphone or whatever the case might be to let the doctors know things are going well, there's nothing to worry about. And as you move your knee, that friction creates the electricity that's needed to run it.
That will charge it and keep it going for as long as
Exactly.
it needs to. That is very impressive and will probably save a lot of people and medical aid schemes a lot of money.
And unwanted surgeries.
And unwanted surgeries for sure. Now moving on to one of my absolute favorites. We've done a couple of tech updates on the little rover that's on Mars.
Yes.
And NASA has now decided it looks like it could be the last one, because I remember last year we reported it got stuck in a sandstorm. It was worried that batteries were going to fail. But what's the update on this little rover?
Right, so it's either going to be very good news or very bad news in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be the last attempt to re-establish communications with the Opportunity rover. So as to say, the window of opportunity is closing. It's going to be in a couple of weeks' time. They're going to try to re-establish with a new method that they haven't tried before. But essentially, this rover has been on Mars for 14 years,
Yes.
which means that it is completely outstripped what the technology was meant to do for a 90-day mission. So look, we've gotten a lot of great data from the rover, and if we can be reconnected, then that'll be great. But it served its purpose.
I absolutely love this little rover. I have a little soft spot for it, only because it was meant to be there for 3 months and it survived 14 years going.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's hope NASA gives us some good news.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to discover.
And speaking of space, I believe there's a company in Dubai that wants to create coffee capsules in space. Is that correct?
Yes, and all hipsters around the world rejoice. So this will probably be one of the most expensive cups of coffee ever. What they've developed is a capsule that they can basically hitchhike onto any other kind of space mission. It then goes up to space with 75 kilograms of beans, and then it roasts the beans in space. So they are saying that in zero gravity, it's going to be roasted 100% uniformly. There's going to be no impurities. And then essentially that capsule is going to come back down to Earth with some parachutes, and then there you've got some space beans. It's
Like, you will literally have space beans. Like, I can't even imagine what the price tag on coffee like that would be.
Yeah, no, it's going to be astronomical.
Literally. So I set you up for that one. But thank you, Tinus, for joining us this morning, giving us an update on all of the weird, interesting, and random things that technology is coming up with. But you've got to love it. You've absolutely got to love it. So, Tinus, we'll see you again next week.
Yes, thank you.
There we go. That was your tech roundup for the week on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.